video, make sure you got your paperwork straight. I got Mickey the Truth.
Let's get one thing clear. This your girl, Mickey Truth. South Carolina, 803 to be exact. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka the Queen of Paperwork, and I am back with another video. As always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. So look up tonight. I think. Oh yeah. NBA Youngboy. So NBA Youngboy was granted bond, right, for $100,000 for a couple of the charges. Was it the state case? Yeah. All right. So he was granted that. However, he still have the federal hold on him. So he's not gonna get out. However, if the hold get released, he could get out, right? So that's not peculiar that they do that, right? Because you still, if you have open cases, different places, you still have to continue on with the legal process. He has gotten new charges in another county, which makes sense. And I'm going to say it now. It's probably going to be more counties because if y'all remember, and y'all can go back to my video, it was multiple counties in Utah that is supposed to be a part of this ring or pharmacies that were hit. So without dropping 1,000,001 videos, I'm just going to tell y'all now, it's going to be more counties coming with charges against them, right? Now, my personal view or opinion, I feel like it's probably going to go federal because there's so many counties. Like in one state at that. Like, do you know how much that's gonna cost? So I will say that. Okay. That's how I'm feeling about it. Okay. Not saying that it won't happen that way, but it could happen that way. Okay. But that's just how I'm feeling because it is multiple pharmacies and different counties. All right. What was the question somebody asked me about the case? I can't remember. I can't even find my notebook because a couple people hit me up in my inbox and asked me some questions. I just wasn't doing videos at the time. But I said I wanted to address it. But for one, I told y'all it's a lot of things that goes into consideration, okay, when it comes to bond. Federal bond or state bond. It's not just a matter of, oh, you got a serious charge, you can't get a bond. It's different things. Sometimes it's, certain situations, like again in Florida, right? You don't automatically get a bond, right? It's like that even here in South Carolina. However, you can request a hearing to be heard so that you can get a bond, right? But it's, as I broke down when I broke down Quando Rondo, is certain things the judge have to check off in order to grant somebody bond. Just because a person has a lot of charges and is granted bond does not mean they are cooperating about something. They don't have to be telling to get a damn bond. Y'all know, you know what? That's why I didn't do the video, okay? So I didn't do the video because I felt like I was losing brain cells when people kept asking, well, did NBA Youngboy snitch? Y'all, how did y'all come up with it? Because he got a bond? Like, come on. And in that moment, though, Truth Team, I actually realized a lot of people, viewers, creators, say they understand the legal process. They don't. Because if that's your first thing to think of because somebody got bond, you really don't know as much as you think you know. But we can watch the thing. Actually, we can do that. I think it was like 6 minutes. Law and Crime had posted it. So let's see. I think I had saved it. All right, yeah, it's about 6 minutes. We're gonna watch it. And then let's see. And then y'all tell me what y'all think after hearing it. Hey, I just want to say, I don't know who microphone. That's a good ass microphone. This man is literally whispering. Well, he think he's whispering. We heard the whole conversation. Like, that was a good ass microphone to pick that up. Like, God dang.
All rise. Court for the first judicial district of the state of Utah and for the county of Cass is now in session. The Honorable Judge Spencer P. Walk is presiding. You may be seated.
All right, good morning. Let's call the case of State of Utah versus Kentrell Deshaun Galden, case 241100468. Counsel, please state your names for the record.
Aaron Jossie for the state. Drew Finley and Zach Finley on behalf of Mr. Galden.
All right, we're here today for a preliminary hearing and a bail hearing. I've had the opportunity to meet with the attorneys in chambers, and it does appear that there has been some type of arrangement reached between the parties. Mr. Finley, would you like to go ahead and state that for the record, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, counsel for the state and myself have been in negotiation really since yesterday, but throughout this morning. And I've explained those negotiations to Mr. Galden. We are going to waive a preliminary hearing in this matter. In exchange for that, a bond will be set at $100,000. Mr. Galden will be able to use a commercial company to make that bond. That will be an aggregate bond covering everything in total, as contained in the charging instrument.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Finley.
All right. So maybe that's why everybody went wild. I don't know. So I guess they heard negotiations and people just went like, oh, he's telling. But negotiations can mean a lot of things. Did anybody catch the fact that he said, okay, they are willing not to go against him receiving bonds? Because the state could have came like, we recommend no bond, and this is why, right? So in their negotiation, like, hey, if you don't go against him getting bond, we won't ask for preliminary hearing. We're going to waive it, okay? And for those who don't know what a preliminary hearing is, it's basically where they will provide the evidence and stuff that they have, right, against NBA Youngboy. The defense will be able to basically argue why that isn't evidence or like against them or whatever, right? By waiving it, it's basically the state can bring in what they have. The defense can't object to it until trial, right? I personally feel it was a good move. Me and Music actually had a conversation about it. He felt like it wasn't a good move. I felt like it was a good move because it's more to come, right? It's no need to sit, argue, and wait for a hearing, for a preliminary hearing, be on a hold. We're trying to get you off this hold with the federal case. We know more charges are coming because it's other counties. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go ahead and get bail. And the reason why I feel like that was a great plan, because guess what? My dad went through that before. He had multiple counties, multiple things. They just went with, okay, we're not going to do that. Just give us a bond, give us a bond. I tell you, my dad got like 2 ankle monitors going right now for 2 different counties. You get what I'm saying? So I just feel like just basically seeing how that played out for him before, I feel like I kind of get the concept of what NBA Youngboy's lawyers are trying to do for him. And I just think it's a good move because it's definitely more coming, more charges from different places. But again, just because they said negotiations, they literally said what the negotiation was for. For you not to go against bond, we won't do the preliminary hearing. Okay.
Mr. Keller, does that accurately represent the agreement that's been reached between the state and Mr. Galden?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Galden, have you had enough time to speak to your attorneys about this decision to waive your right to your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that the standard at a preliminary hearing is a much lower burden of proof that the government would have to meet than at trial? So instead of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, it's a lower burden of proof, which is there a reasonable belief that a crime was committed by you? And the court has to view all the evidence that it would receive in a light most favorable to the government, to the prosecution. Understanding that legal standard and having had discussions with your attorneys, do you hereby waive your right to your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
All right. The court finds that Mr. Galden has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to his preliminary hearing. He will be bound over for trial on all the charges set forth in the information, the charging document in this case. Bail will be set through stipulation of the parties at $100,000. That will be bondable. And in talking to the attorneys, it sounds like they would like to set this out for an arraignment at a later point in time. Mr. Finley, would you like to go ahead and articulate anything specific related to that?
Yes, Your Honor, as discussed in chambers, even, and I explained to Mr. Golden, even if it's set up for arraignment, say in 60 days, the court has made it clear through discussion with counsel, if there is a resolution well before then, we're welcome to come back before Your Honor at any point in the future.
Okay, very good. So we'll set Mr. Galden's arraignment out in about 60 days. That arraignment would take place through WebEx. We'll have Mr. Galden brought here to the courthouse. And then if Mr. Finley would like to appear remotely for that hearing, he may do so. Also, if the attorneys reach some sort of resolution prior to those 60 days expiring, then just reach out to Angie and we'll get that on my calendar in a timely fashion. Angie, a date about 60 days out for that arraignment on a Monday morning, probably. July 1st, at what time? 9? Okay, so that would be July 1st at 9 a.m. or 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time, whatever you'd prefer.
Either one.
Okay, let's do 9 a.m. Does that work for the state?
It does, yes.
All right, Mr. Galden, your arraignment will be July 1st, 9 a.m. You'll be brought over from the Cache County Jail, assuming that you're still incarcerated. If not, you'd be able to appear remotely for that hearing as well, or appear in person, whatever your preference would be. Is there anything else that needs to be stated on the record here today, counsel?
On behalf of Mr. Golden.
Nothing further from the state.
All right, with that, we'll conclude this hearing. Court is adjourned.
All right. Well, look. Blue said that's the first time you can understand them. Look, this is my first time actually watching it, and even without watching it, I still what I had said still remains the same. Like that wasn't enough to sit there and say the man been snitching on. What is he snitching on? So yeah, that's something. Oh no, I had just got a message. Ooh. But yeah, so that's basically where it's at. With NBA Youngboy. Like I said, it's definitely gonna be more to come charge wise, because it was multiple counties. They said that in the original paperwork. And at this point, the best thing they can do until they start actually putting their plans together with disputing charges, because already some of the original charges got dropped, is trying to get bond for them. You don't want to look. It's nothing like having multiple holes on you, okay? And then trying to get out. But if you got a bond for everywhere and you're able to fulfill it, when your hole that you do have on you is released, you can get out. So, you know, I just think so. Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
trying to conquer the world. Coming from where I come from. They doubted me, but I came up.